Welcome back, guys. This is episode 9 of DJ Talks. I'm Johnny,
Hey, I'm Dan.
and we are both gonna talk about. So we liked our episode and how we rolled with the whole video game thing, and what we liked, like our favorites, comparing, contrasting what we liked and what we didn't like. So we're gonna do the same thing, but we're YouTubers this time. It's kind of funny because all of our podcast episodes are uploaded on YouTube right now as our primary platform.
Hmm.
Eventually, we're gonna go up on other platforms and stuff, but
Maybe one
uh,
day.
yeah. But part of our original conversation was to see like what our experiences was like as YouTubers, but like nothing's really changed because at
Exactly.
this point in the game, we're only like 9 or 10 weeks in, which is still really cool. I'm actually really I'm really thankful that we've been going for this long. So it's really nice that we've been consistent with this and hopefully be able to keep going. But we don't have a lot of experience really as YouTubers yet
Mhm.
because we're still developing and we're still growing, we're still figuring things out. So
More of
uh,
my thoughts were kind of what maybe for the audience members, take a look at what we like as well. Maybe they have similar interests to us and see, hey, what are some of the channels that we like to subscribe to? What do we think? Obviously, we have no experience and we don't have a successful YouTube channel, but what we think,
yet.
what we think may or what we like in YouTubers and why we like to watch certain people. Maybe that'll maybe we could rewatch this video and kind of learn from what we're talking about at the same time.
Yeah,
So,
and there's a couple points that I'm gonna make too on that, but yeah, let's just get right into it.
mhm.
So, um, I think for sure my favorite YouTube channel isn't. I don't know. It's I'm torn because it really depends on the category. What category do you want to start with?
All right, you know what? I'm gonna start with something pretty big, a music channel,
A
because
music channel.
yes, some type of musical, something that you enjoy listening to. Doesn't have to. It could be something really big and popular, like what is those? The Vivo music, where they actually pop out top chart hit music, or it could be some small little YouTuber, like, or even just random informational teaching YouTube music
Mm-hmm.
videos. I know Boyce Avenue is somewhat big, so something like that where they can do
Yeah.
covers, whatever you like, whatever you think. Um, what would you say? Do you have anything that comes to mind right away
I
that you're like?
used to listen to a decent amount of music on YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
I would follow people like David Choi, Arden Cho.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Honestly, I don't listen to music anymore on YouTube. I have no reason to listen to music on YouTube when most of my preferred genres of music I can get from Spotify. I mean, working at Starbucks, I get a free Spotify premium account, so that's pretty dope. And I just listen to a bunch of stuff
Wait,
on
that's not
there.
actually true, is it?
No, it is.
If you look at your
What?
paycheck, I think they take out, like,
No, they don't.
they don't at
It's
all, really. Because
no.
I
It's just
saw somebody who did work at Starbucks and they looked at their paycheck and they were like, "Oh wait, there's a Spotify like charge here. You need to
no.
take a look
My
at
my
that."
paychecks don't have that. It doesn't show up on my
All right,
PlayStation.
all right.
I,
Maybe
I
they're
I've
just
definitely checked because I want to like. I was like, man, fuck tax. And then I was like looking through everything and going through it with my boss, and I was wondering like why one of my checks was different from another, and yeah,
okay.
Spotify never came up. So I definitely get a free Spotify premium account.
That's
Pretty
good.
cool. But
I
I mean,
mean,
like,
YouTube channel. I mean, YouTube more like music, like the creation of music. My idea of it is something. The one that I really like. They used to do a lot. Two of them actually. Kurt Hugo Schneider, obviously, is a big one.
I've never heard of them.
You haven't heard of Kurt Hugo, like Sam Tsui, and have you heard of Sam Tsui?
No.
Okay, well,
I'm not really big on music on YouTube in general,
all
so
good, all good.
I could be in like a completely different world, I guess, from you in terms of like what we do on YouTube. This will be fun to find out, actually. But go ahead,
See,
go
this
ahead.
is some interesting things where I can learn something from you, and you can learn something from me. Viewers can learn something as well. Kurt Hugo Schneider he's like almost like a music producer,
Uh-huh.
sort of. He does a lot of really interesting things with a lot of different other YouTubers. So He does a lot of collaborations with a whole bunch of YouTubers, and basically he's very musically talented.
Hmm.
So he doesn't sing too much, but he does all of the music behind it. So he did. I know he did a cup song. Oh man, I have to look some of these things up. But so one of the things, some of the things that he does is like he has a lot of musical technology type thing, right?
Yeah.
So he has those beat board, like a board of beats or something. He does a lot of
Hmm.
that. He plays
Yeah.
like piano. He plays, I think, guitar. I think he plays a lot of different random stuff. And he makes interesting musical things out of weird objects. Like when the cups was really big.
Holy, I DC'd. But you made your point, so you can keep going.
You DC'd?
Yeah, I DC'd. That was my fault.
I didn't see it at all, but whatever. We'll keep rolling.
Well, the viewers would know because I make a face and I accidentally. Anyway,
Okay.
so
So
you were saying the last thing I heard was that this guy Kurt has he does a lot of background music for stuff. It
not even
sounds like.
background music. He does a lot of random musical things. So
Uh
something
huh.
when you know remember when Pitch Perfect was a huge thing. They had those cups. He played
Oh
on the
yeah,
cups, right?
yeah,
So
yeah.
he made like this arrangement with cups being the beat, and then he sang to some random song,
Oh.
and then he did like I think it's like I think he had a video with garbage or something, like random household objects that he does beats with. He makes sounds out of, and he makes an entire song out of it. And
Hmm.
these are covers of songs with um with a lot of different other YouTube
See,
singers.
that's the
So
thing. In general, I'm just not a fan of covers. I feel like I don't know. There's just I maybe I'm just a sucker for the original or I just
mhm.
appreciate the original more, but in general, covers to me are just some of them just feel so boosted. I'm like, holy, these
Oh
are just
yeah,
not
definitely,
good.
definitely. But this the reason why I like this channel especially is because he changes the entire arrangement of the song
Hmm.
and uses interesting instruments. And these aren't actual instruments. Sometimes it is, sometimes it isn't. He uses actual random instruments that create this musical arrangement almost, and he does something different, and that's why he's something I feel like most people should at least check out just for songs in general. Um, you should check out as well.
Yeah.
Take a look at it. I know you probably don't listen to too many, but he did like oh yeah, right here. He did a fidget spinner video. So he used fidget spinners to make beats or
Hmm.
sounds or things that created the track, and then
Yeah.
somebody sang. So other YouTubers where he collaborate with sang to it.
Hmm.
So he's really cool. I think something interesting as well. And then I used to watch a lot of the piano guys. I don't know if you've heard of them before
I
either.
have heard of them, yeah.
Okay. They did a lot of very big, um, extravagant things with pianos, cellos, bass, some of the
Hmm.
classic instruments, and they did it in scenes or in very beautiful scenery. I know they did one on like a mountaintop or something. They had to have a helicopter like lift it all the way onto this mountain or something. Super cool the things that
Uh-huh.
they did. Um, they haven't had too many more YouTube videos out recently, but they did songs of popular songs and made it somewhat classical almost.
Hmm.
So I thought the different arrangements, and that's what I like about certain music channels, is
Hmm.
the different arrangements of and the different ways they can make the music sound
Hmm.
cool of the ones that
Yeah.
I like especially. So
Yeah.
you like the classic, right? You like
Well,
the real original
Generally, I mean, there are some remixes and some covers that are okay, or maybe another artist will be featured in a song, which is different.
Hmm.
But in general, I think covers sound they just don't sound as good as the original to me.
Mm.
I feel like they're usually mocking the original artist, not in a bad way, but like it's a version of mockery or imitation to me.
Hmm.
So that's at least that's just the way I hear it.
Imitation
Um,
is the best form of compliment, right?
I guess, yeah, and when you know a song's popular, it has like
Hmm.
300,000 fucking covers on YouTube and stuff,
Oh yeah,
which is totally
definitely.
fine. And I think that I also listen to a very variety of music. A lot of it's from different parts of the world, and it's also very unique. So not
Yeah.
all of it can be found on Spotify. I'll have to buy those CDs or download them from other websites and stuff,
Okay.
depending on what it is. But YouTube generally doesn't have a lot of it. There's also that weird thing on YouTube where and this is where covers are really nice because you can enjoy a song or you can enjoy a melody
Hmm.
where a cover would fill that role if the original song doesn't have a license with YouTube or Vivo or something to
Right,
upload
right.
that music, because then you'll have these like really, I hate this so much, where you have YouTube channels where they'll like upload a song or a video and but like they'll add something to it, so then YouTube doesn't immediately find it,
Hmm.
or like maybe they'll change the pitch of the music, or they'll like a video that they're showing of a music video or something that's from a different country will be a portion of the video, and the rest of it, a majority of it, will be some like random animation just so YouTube doesn't detect it right away.
I see.
I
Yeah.
hate that a lot. But just because you're not able to support the original artist. So
Yeah, you're supporting the original artist, but the things that and the reason why, yeah, like I said, like I like them is because they do something so different from the original,
well, you're
right?
talking about with your channels that you enjoy,
Not
right? Not
just that
necessarily.
either, but like um just music channels. A lot of music channels are the big popular ones, especially. But yeah, there are I agree a lot of channels that pretty much rip it off almost or try to rip
Yeah.
it off, and then
And I mean, I guess it's in a way supporting it because you're enjoying the music or listening to it, but I'd
Mhm.
rather listen to it on a platform that the artist knows they have the music on. So then if I'm listening to their music on Spotify, if I buy their CD, if I
Mhm.
like them enough, then at least I know in some way, shape, or form it's supporting them, as opposed to like some random YouTube rip of a music video or something that's just like,
Oh yeah,
they,
definitely.
they're never going to receive any of their ad revenue, or they're never going to get any of those views on their channel. So it's like,
True, true.
I don't want to support that.
Yeah.
Um,
And
but
another thing I think is pretty big is because covers, I think covers spark interest in the actual artist that created the song, right?
mhm.
So you have a favorite YouTube channel, you have a favorite YouTube artist. They start doing a cover of this song that you really like. You're going to take a look at the original. You're going to listen to it on whatever Spotify or iTunes or whatever you have. So I feel like that brings interest into certain people's lives that they don't normally
It
listen to
depends on
mainstream,
who's
right?
the listener, I think.
Hmm.
But yeah, that's a good point too.
So I feel like they do that as well. I mean, what about something like Pentatonics then? Do you listen to them? Do you not? I mean,
No,
not at
I
all?
know who they are. I think they're okay.
Okay.
But I don't listen to them regularly.
So those are the things that I think are really cool. Is the way they do it is Pentatonics uses their voices only, pretty much,
Yeah.
to create this musical art, right? Yeah, they do a lot of covers as well, but they also create some originals, and the way they do it is pretty cool.
hmm
So
Yeah.
it's
I mean,
just
they're all
channels,
right.
yeah.
I think they're talented, but it's not the media that I'll regularly consume or is like
Hmm.
seek. It's
I
not my
mean, they
thing.
have some things on Spotify too.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean I'm gonna go after it, right?
True,
It's just
true.
yeah.
All right. Um, okay. Um, I guess the next big thing that we'd talk about, something that we both fully enjoy, is gaming.
Mhm.
Gaming, right?
Okay, so I actually have a lot of opinions on gaming channels on YouTube. Um,
You probably have a
so
lot more opinions than I do, but
yeah, I'm just gonna go at it. So, a lot of the gaming channels I subscribe to
yeah.
are usually stream highlight channels from specific Twitch streamers, or they'll be from professional tournaments, so and leagues. So I'll start with the leagues one because that's a little easier to talk about, and then
Mhm.
I'll go into the streaming one because that's where I'm way more opinionated.
Mhm.
So this will generally be like your Blizzard Entertainment for Overwatch. This will be your LOL Esports for League of Legends,
Oh
and
yeah.
those kinds of channels I'll subscribe to. You have a lot of really cool hype videos. You have a lot of really cool trailers. You'll have a lot of you'll have links to the streams for major leagues and upcoming events and stuff. So
Hmm.
that's really nice because most of the time I'll watch my tournaments on Twitch, but if I for some reason I can't watch a tournament right away, or if I want to be able to go back and scroll or slow down something, the nice thing is that YouTube video players have
Yeah.
that feature built in. So I can maybe if I'm watching a game I'm less familiar with, I can slow it down for certain parts and rewatch those parts, which is really nice to watch on YouTube. Um, or if I just miss it, I think watching VODs
Hmm.
on YouTube is way easier than watching it on Twitch.
Hmm.
Um, what's really nice is that specifically with LOL Esports, I don't do this with too many other games. They make it really easy to follow the VODs for those games. So if I miss a specific game from a tournament, I'll watch it there. They also put up like really cool content of their own, which is really nice. So I watch those a lot. But then this is where it gets a little weird because the streamers that I watch usually put out their own videos. Like specifically, I watch a lot of big names. This is where I guess I'm not as creative with my content, but like I'm a Cutie Pie is a really big name. I love watching his videos. I think they're hilarious. Shifter, he's a really big name. Skara, Dyrus. I used to watch I Would Dominate, but he complains a lot, and I got really tired of that.
Mm.
Like he's like super whiny, so I'm like whatever.
Yep. Yep. He
And
had some
Pokemon,
really interesting stuff. Like he had some very entertaining, kind of semi like I'm a cutie pie, where he kind of just trolled a little bit, but then yeah, he has that side where it's just.
is like really whiny and he
Mhm.
just keeps complaining about the same things over and over.
Yep.
But like yeah, he'll have his like really funny moments. Like I know that there was a really big meme. I'm 6'4" and I wrote for UC Davis. Did you watch those videos?
No, I didn't.
So Dom was playing some solo queue game and then I don't remember what happened, but he like as a response to insult Dom, this guy said, "Well, I'm 6'4" and I wrote for UC Davis." And it just became this huge meme on Dom's channel. He put up like 6 videos about it. He also has a really I Will Dominate also has a really good editor,
Yes.
Fedmeister. That guy
Yes.
is really fucking
He
talented.
is so
So
good. Yeah.
he's gone on to do other stuff, like he's working with Skara and everyone else with offline TV, which is like a totally different thing. And he edits for other people too sometimes, but yeah, Fed is really talented. So I think he makes Dom look really good, but I can't justify watching Dom when he's like I just feel like he's really annoying
Yep.
just to watch Fedmeister's work, but
Mhm.
I'm able to get his work from other channels. So anyway, with all these other and oh, the last person I watch a lot is Pokemon because she's pretty good at League, but she's also like really fucking. I have a huge crush on her. So there's that. But the biggest thing about these channels is that I will only watch content from their own channels. I fucking hate seeing like I'm a Cutie Pie highlights from a random no name channel that has like
I like
that names
videos.
themselves like something that sounds legit but it's not.
Mhm.
It really bothers me because they're literally just ripping off of streams from other people and they're taking other people's work and they're putting it together and they still get hundreds of thousands of views. And it really irritates me because that's a lot of ad revenue and that's a lot of clicks that they're getting to their channels
Mhm.
that they're really taking away from the original creators. There are some channels that there's one just called Solo Mid, and they just make highlight videos of like random stuff that they find on solo queue games or like other people's stream channels, and it just really irritates me. I will always stay away from those channels, and they always show up on my YouTube feed because they're like, "Oh, you watched this video from I'm a Cutie Pie. You should watch this other one of him in it, but it's not actually his channel." And I'll like, and I'll like make sure I mark that I'm not interested in this
Mhm.
content, but I'll keep watching I'm a Cutie Pie stuff on his channel. It just really upsets me to see like there are people ripping him off, but for me, I just don't watch them.
Pretty much those highlight videos are the highlights of the highlights,
Kind of, but like
right?
I guess, and then
That's where they feel like people don't want to sit. Sometimes people don't want to sit through an entire video of the actual person because not every single part of it it's going to be interesting. Whereas if somebody pulls the most interesting thing out of 10 different streamers or 10 different solo queue people, then boom, have something quicker paced. People like things faster, quicker, more entertaining at all times, nonstop, 100%.
and I think that's okay.
Mm-hmm.
If that's the kind of content you want to watch, then go for it.
Yep.
But I personally really like these content creators, and I want to watch their content on their channels to support them. I don't have the money to subscribe to all of them on Twitch, so that would be another way of supporting them if I could, but I don't. Um, the only person I've subscribed to on Twitch is Scar, and I've been subscribed to him for like 42 months now. But like, he's the
Damn.
only one, and like with everyone else
Damn.
is like, that's cool, but if I want to support you, then I'll watch it on your channel, and I'll make sure that like you're getting the clicks and you'll get the ad revenue and whatever.
Yeah.
I know I keep going back to that, like those two things, but
It's the biggest
I
way they
just
make money. The biggest way they live. And
well, on YouTube specifically, yeah.
true. Right.
And it's just like, it just sucks. And I guess another big thing is that I'm a Cutie Pie has a really good editor, like a really really good editor. He's really good for I'm a Cutie Pie, and he won't do other stuff, but I think Fedmeister's a different kind of good. He does has a different editing style where I'm a Cutie Pie's editor is really good at mocking the Korean game show type of editing where it's like very simple, but you get to make fun of something, you get to highlight it, and they have a lot of really goofy sound effects and stuff.
Mhm.
So that's a lot of fun.
I mean, yeah, I it's a huge part. Editors are a huge part of the actual content, because they almost create the entertainment that they boil down the entertainment into a nice package, pretty much.
I mean, and I think that what they do is kind of a lot of what League of Legends does with their content, which is just telling a story. They take a game or a stream and they'll kind of piece it together in such a way where they're telling some kind of story to follow and it's entertaining. And whether that story is through one single game or two games of playing the same character or whatever it is, it's enjoyable, like 7 to 10 minutes of that little story. And I think that you're making a really good point that the editor is the one to tell that story, and they're putting it together and they're pulling out all the relevant chapters from that game to highlight in those 10 minutes, right?
That's a really good way to put it.
Yeah. I mean, I think about this a lot because I'm like, why am I enjoying this content? Why am I always watching these guys? And that's also another reason why I don't like watching these like stupid highlight channels, is because they're not telling a story, they're trying to make money. And I'm sure that these YouTube channels are trying to make money too, but their editors do it in such a way where they highlight this person, you get to know a little more about them, you get to see like different sides of them. Like I'm a Cutie Pie like has a unconditional love for his cats and dogs.
Small
and
cat!
Also, yeah, small cat. He got a new cat, Pizza Guy.
Oh no.
Yeah, so he has Dapper, small cat, Pizza Guy, and there's one other.
That's his
I
dog.
feel so bad. Dapper's his dog.
Oh, okay.
Man. There's one other cat that I'm not naming, and it kills me because I watch his videos all the time, so I should know this. But like they'll have like random videos where I'm Cupid's like holding up one of his fucking cats, and oh man, it's so funny. But
Small cat, what are you doing?
but with gaming channels, I also watch Blitz Esports and other small like channels that specifically do interviews. I don't really like watching too many interview videos because I think that they can get a little redundant and boring when you're just interviewing pro players and they're feeding you the same things. Yeah. But like your classic Travis and Double Lift stuff, that's pretty good.
It's basically the ones that you're a fan of or have heard of or take some interest in.
Yeah.
It's pretty much who you watch. And then the reason why I think Blitz is so good is because they do a different style and quality of an interview. So you have so many interview channels, so many interviews, so many this, and they're always asking the exact same questions. That's a huge reason why I actually like watching Thorin's videos.
Yeah.
Okay. A huge reason why I watch Thorin's videos is because he asks questions that you don't normally hear. You have to really dig deep before you can even find something or a question even remotely related to that. So he does this long form. That's what he calls it, a long form YouTube video. Sorry, you were going to say something.
No, you're good. You're good.
Yeah, he does.
You're talking specifically about his. My bad.
No, keep going.
So his long form videos you talk about, there's two different ones, right? Where he's interviewing a player for like 3 hours and then he's ranting. Which one are you talking about?
Um, all right. So if you guys don't know, Thorin is a CS:GO. He's like a multi kind of every game almost,
I
or all
think
the big name games.
he focuses on League, Overwatch, and CS:GO, if I remember correctly.
CS:GO is his primary. Overwatch is because Monte Cristo, this other caster of esports, because Monte Cristo went over to Overwatch, so he started getting more into Overwatch, and then League because he started initially um, randomly, I think. So those are his big three, and then every so often he does some random Dota 2 thing. But those are like his four major ones, and he does interviews. So he does, like Johnny says, multiple different things. One is his rant videos. Pretty much, he picks one topic and he can talk for about 30 minutes to an hour about this one topic that he finds. And it's kind of like complaining or finding a problem with something or just bringing to light something he may think is really important. The reason why I like those is because it's so controversial sometimes. And the way he describes it, he's pretty articulate. He's very articulate. He's very. I feel like he's very educated with what he does. He does a crap ton of research, so he makes very educated types of points, but very opinionated, educated type of points. So he is a very opinionated person, and that's one of the biggest reasons why I like him is because of his personality, the opinionated, how strong he feels towards his views. And the stronger you feel, the more powerful it feels, the more confident. And when he says something right, it's like, holy shit, he said something right. And then when he says something wrong, you can shit on him all day long. So you can take both sides of it, and that's the entertaining part of it, where no matter what he does, there will be entertainment factor.
Mm-hmm.
Then he has his other side, which is he calls it his reflection videos, which is basically a super long form interview. If you think about regular TV, it's like Dateline or 60 minutes or something.
But it's like 180 minutes
Right.
sometimes.
It's a
With
hundred. Sometimes it's hella long.
yeah, it's 2 or 3 hours sometimes of
I
him just interviewing one person.
I basically take like 3 days to finish watching it or something, and I take it like a podcast.
Mm-hmm.
So if you guys are interested in League of Legends, CS:GO, professional players, or Overwatch, those types of things, professional players, he does a lot of these interviews, and he digs deep into not only just like minute topics, but also the history of the player, why they did certain things, controversial topics that they may have been through. So the long form, I think, is a really interesting style. Not for everyone, but still, it's like a podcast. Like
Yeah.
a really interesting podcast. So that's a huge one that I love to listen to every so often. But he's done a lot of CS:GO stuff, which I don't follow as much. So it's just I can't get attached to certain players or certain things. So that's a little sad.
Hmm.
But yeah, another one that you mentioned, obviously the LoL esports and the Blizzard ones. Blizzard's and Riot's teams, their videos are absolutely beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Blizzard's Overwatch videos, the videos of players, not the
Mhm.
players, the characters, their
Yeah.
stories. They're like movies.
Yeah, I
They're
think they're
like
intended to be like mini cinematic
it.
stories.
How much it draws you into it feels so good. And then Riot, same thing. They do certain super epic videos that kind of draw you into the lore of the game, or even just the behind the scenes kind of things, the way they do
Mhm.
things, and it's just they just have the production quality. That's why they're obviously that, and they're very popular game developers, but um, they differentiate themselves with production quality
Yeah.
so much more. And then obviously you have small little interview or even talk show kind of um, gaming videos. And then, I mean, every so often you have certain things like sketch videos and.
Yeah, you also have those like watch me play videos and stuff. I
Okay,
was
yeah.
never really a big fan of
Hmm.
those, but I know that they're really popular where you watch someone else play a game. Like maybe it's a game you're interested in or you might not have time for it.
Hmm.
I know a couple of my friends watched other people play Breath of the Wild when it came out,
Hmm.
but that was just because they didn't have a Switch or whatever. And I I guess I was lucky because I did have a Switch, but I don't think I would have wanted to sit through watching somebody explore an open world game. And then that's just that kind of game, right? You have other games where it's a more linear story, so I guess those might be easier to watch when the game is kind of walking you through a story
Hmm.
or there's a process that you go through.
I think most of the time people watch it for just they feel like they're hanging out with somebody. It's like Twitch,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
Kind of feels like they're hanging out with somebody, but at the same time, some people like the reactions
hmm
behind the game. So that's, I think, a huge reason why it just feels like you're a part of just chilling with a friend, playing some video games, watching their reaction, playing around, and some people just like watching more than playing.
yeah. I
So,
mean, that's kind of the appeal with some Twitch streamers too, where you just like they're just playing and you just watch them play. It kind of feels like you're chilling with them, sort of.
yep.
You have them playing in the background. It's almost like they're just on the other side of your bedroom, just
Mm-hmm.
hanging out at their own desk.
Yep.
So I definitely see where the appeal is, and it's different. It's different, but just not my kind of thing. But I know that they're
Oh,
popular.
definitely. Yeah.
It's worth mentioning. Yeah.
Um, some highlight channels that
For what?
you think would some people should check out.
I'm a cutie pie.
Okay.
Holy shit. I have friends who like casually play League
Mm.
and they might not be like that good or they might not be as into the game as a lot of the community is, but you can like watch his videos and like you'll just really enjoy yourself. He's just like really dumb. The way he talks is really funny. He's
Mm-hmm.
always making fun of himself. He's always making fun of his teammates. He's
Yep.
making fun of his cats.
And he's
He
super
never
chill.
yeah, he never makes fun of his fiance. And that's another thing. Like you'll watch these videos and you're like, how the hell does this guy have a fiance? It's just really funny. I really enjoy his videos. I definitely recommend them.
Beyonce's cute too.
Yeah, she's like, she's kind of like, yeah, she's
Yeah,
like,
she's. um, one thing I think you should check out. I don't know, is editing. The editor, whoever edits it, it's not great, but he's
what? I'm a
entertaining.
cutie
No,
pies.
not I'm a cutie pie. I'm talking about somebody else.
Oh,
Another channel. No. Something you may want to check out. This guy's editor is probably not great, but he's super entertaining. And Summit 1G.
oh.
Summit 1G is hilarious.
I think I've never watched too much of him, but when I did, I thought he was like okay.
He has
I
his
don't know.
own Summit 1G channel.
Yeah.
You watch his highlight videos. I think he's super entertaining.
hmm
He's always engaged. That's the thing. He's almost always engaged. This is his professional life. He always is engaged. No matter what game he goes to, he always has like 15K plus viewers on his Twitch.
Yeah, and he's like one of the only guys that can do that on
Yep.
Twitch, where you can like play any game and you'll still have a ton of people watching.
The reason why is he's so engaged with his viewers. No matter what game he's playing, and he's good at the games too. So not
He's
only,
not good at League, isn't he? Like silver or something?
oh yeah. All shooter games, he is plays at a very high level.
Yeah.
So not only can you learn things from him just by watching him play, but at the same time, he is entertaining. He's always engaged, and he's consistent.
hmm
So those are the biggest thing. And I don't know, he has a very interesting, funny personality. Says some
hmm
really random things on stream and on his YouTube videos. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, that's someone I think you should take a look at. There's some funny videos.
I think another thing that we should highlight before we move on from the
Mhm.
gaming topic is there are some game brands that have their own. The closest thing I would call them is like a reality TV shows, and
Mm.
these shows generally highlight how a team is doing in a specific game. This is
Mm.
especially popular with brands like TSM, CLG, and Team Liquid. they each have their own little mini series of where a cameraman will literally follow the players around through their weeks, and they'll just tell them how they're doing. They'll talk about their wins, they'll talk about their losses, and they highlight those moments. But it's a really, these things are pretty popular, especially with TSM, because they just have the biggest fan base. I'm
Yep.
pretty sure like in the world, I would say,
Mhm.
and they you really the cameraman does a really good job at making you feel like you're getting to know these players on a very personal level outside of their streams, outside of them playing on stage, and you get to hear them say things that are very human, without giving away, intense strategies or anything, any confidential information. So um, those are pretty good to watch for fans or anyone that knows who these players are. I'm not
Mhm.
even that big a fan of TSM myself. Not that I have anything against them. I'm just like not a big fan of them. But I still really enjoy watching their series TSM Legends. I know that Team Liquid puts one out, and their series I don't watch as much, but I remember whenever I did watch it, I really enjoyed it.
Mhm.
So
It's all really interesting. Yep.
yeah,
I know we talked a lot about gaming. It's because we're huge gamers as well. We love it.
yeah,
We have the most opinions on it, and I feel like we can talk the most about it.
yeah.
But moving on from that, I feel like we have to go into kind of informational
Okay,
kind of
I like that.
YouTube videos. The biggest example that I can give you guys is something like Vsauce. You've heard of
Who?
Vsauce?
Nope.
Okay. Vsauce does a lot of. So he takes a topic and
Oh, this guy's huge.
yep, he describe and so something like how much. So one of his popular, how much of the Earth can you see at once? Something like that. And he does a lot of research. He does a lot of studying, and he comes up with some answer for you that normally isn't answered. He
Hmm.
does it in a very long form video, sometimes 20,
Hmm.
30-minute long videos that describe and take backstory and science and this and this and this, and it's very educational,
Hmm.
informational, educational. Something you might want to, viewers, if you want to take a look at it, check that out.
Hmm.
The channel is called Vsauce. And one of his, let's say, his most popular video here is "What if everyone jumped at once?" He had 25 million views on that.
Hmm.
He, other one is, "Do we see? Is your red the same as my red?"
Hmm.
So seeing colors, are they different? Are you seeing the same thing that I'm seeing? He talks about the science behind like sight, vision, all of that random stuff. I'm not gonna say I watch a whole ton of him, but I feel like that's a big example of just informational kind of YouTube.
Hmm.
Um,
I think a really big channel that I watch for information is Philip DeFranco. Have you heard of him?
yes.
Yeah, so my last semester of college was pretty brutal.
Mhm.
So I like cut myself away from multiplayer video games and the rest of the world basically. I spent a lot of time reading newspapers actually because I wanted to become a better news writer since I studied journalism in college, and I wanted to make sure that I was writing in a style that replicated like the New York Times or something, or the Wall Street Journal, some reputable news source. And while I got a decent amount of my news from there, I still wanted to keep up with other types of news, like things that blew up on the internet that might not make it to the paper.
Mhm.
And Philip DeFranco, he has a lot of like 10 to 15-minute videos that I would watch where he would like summarize something and tell you his opinion on it. I don't necessarily always agree with his opinions,
Yep.
but um, he's really good at including like a fuck ton of sources to his stories. So then you can like fact check him and see that he's getting his information from other reputable sources, and he also is really good at finding really niche stories that do blow up on the internet as he says they do,
Mhm.
but maybe it's not as part of the internet that you've ever seen before or that you generally explore. So it's really cool to see that there's like really weird shit happening in the world that you may have never heard of. But Philip DeFranco is really good at highlighting it. He's entertaining. He's also a really good guy, I
Yep.
think. Um,
One thing that I think about Philip DeFranco is he does it in a very almost impartial way. He kind of lays out all his facts first,
he tries his
right?
best to do so, yeah.
Right. So he pretty much what he does, in my opinion, is he lays out the facts. and then he gives his opinion. So it's kind of
Most of the
like,
time.
here it is, and then this is what I think about it.
Hmm.
Obviously, he has more opinionated episodes or whatever, certain videos, because he's more um, interested or invested in certain topics. But at the same time, I think he does a very good job at being impartial at the news he provides. And this is not just like Johnny said, small little news as well. He also talks about big topics in the world that
Yeah.
goes on. So
And I think that you made a really good point where he does like have those moments of I don't want to say weakness, but vulnerability is a
Mhm.
better word. For example, anything that involves children that is criminal or scars them or hurts them,
Mhm.
like he'll tear up and he'll like record an ending and an outro to the video before he tells that story because he knows he's gonna get emotional. And those stories aren't necessarily hard for him to talk about in the way that he talks about the rest of his news stories, but he cares so much about those things that it works him up. Like if he's hearing about like a child that got molested or something, or
Mhm.
some kind of crime where children were killed or something similar,
Mhm.
it's really hard to listen to because you can hear his voice breaking, his eyes are watering up a little bit. Um, so there are moments like that. But he's also really good at talking about some of the good things that are happening in the
Yep.
world. So yeah, I really like him.
Mhm.
And I think I really like watching The Late Show with Stephen Colbert on YouTube.
Stephen
Um,
Colbert is an absolute, just amazing person. I love
I
his.
yeah,
I just love him too.
I love him too. I was really lucky because I got to see one of his shows live when I was in New York City.
Really?
That
Oh
was
my
fucking dope.
god.
And guess who bought the man's mug, dude? I bought
Oh,
one.
that's what I was seeing last time. I was like, is
Yeah.
that the Late Show shit come?
I
I
got,
was
I
like,
got the Late
damn.
Show mug, dude. I was like, when I went up to the vendors after the show, I did he asked me, can I help you? And I'm like, I need a mug. And he's like, whoa, this kid needs a mug. Oh, he didn't say kid, but
I
um
need the mug.
yeah, it was cool. It was really cool.
Mhm.
Um so between Stephen Colbert and John Oliver, I get a lot of my news about what's fucked up in the world and then political news. And that's mostly because I have similar political views to
Mhm.
Stephen Colbert. I don't always agree with him, but I disagree with Philip DeFranco more than I do Stephen Colbert because I think that a lot of the stuff that Stephen Colbert talks about these days, especially with Donald Trump,
Yep.
I agree with. So yeah, he's really funny. He presents things really well, and I think he's a great guy, like you said, Dan.
Mhm. So yeah, I mean, same thing. Uh, I watch John Oliver, Stephen Colbert as well. I don't watch as much Philip DeFranco.
Hmm.
I should, because I did at one point watch like almost 2 or 3 weeks straight of him every single whatever day, but
Yeah.
for some reason I slowed down because I enjoyed other videos as well. There's
Hmm.
too many videos to watch in this world, so.
No, yeah, there's a lot, and I'm not as subscribed to as many people as I used to be, but like even with
Mhm.
Philip DeFranco, when I went to Tokyo for vacation, I
Mhm.
just spent like I don't know between 2 days. I just watched 2 weeks of his videos, so I could like catch up with the world. So like, oh, that thing happened in Charleston or whatever it was. The whole racist white thing, talk about that march.
The Nazi
Um,
march race,
yeah,
yeah, something.
yeah,
Mhm.
I heard about that, and I found out all the stuff about like the hurricane and all the like. I was on the other side of the world, so I don't get a
Yep.
lot of my news. But then like a day or two of just watching Phil DeFranco, I'm like, oh, okay, I'm back to reality. I kind of know what's going on. Like,
Reddit helps me with that.
yeah, I did.
Front
My
page.
internet was so bad that I couldn't even load Reddit pages when I was in
Oh
Tokyo, just because
shoot.
like I was on 2G roaming data, so
Yo,
it's like
that's good though. That's good
it's
because
good because it was free and it was like decent enough to load Google Maps, so that was fine.
well,
But like
you enjoy
there's
Japan
oh yeah,
to
oh
its
yeah,
fullest instead of being on Reddit the entire time
or
and
being on
shifting through
YouTube.
or being
So
YouTube. Exactly.
yeah,
But yeah, Stephen Colbert, somebody really famous that you guys can check out. He does a lot of. He's very. I think he does a really good job at um, comedically pre- comedically presenting the news,
hmm,
right? In a very funny and entertaining way where you can enjoy
yeah,
it. John Oliver, on the other hand, is same thing. He does it in a very funny way, but but he does one topic and he extends it and does a long
yeah,
form version of it.
yeah.
So,
Which I really like. I really like it.
yep, I can't do too much of it. Like I can do interesting topics. I did watch it pretty much every week for about like a couple months at one point.
Hmm.
But then it just takes so much time at certain points. Definitely though, check out certain things of him. Um,
Yeah, he's got a lot of really good videos.
mhm,
Highlighting really weird things that you didn't know was going on in the world necessarily. But then when he tells you about it, you're like, wow, I had no idea that this is how this worked, and this shouldn't be the case. This is something that should be avoided.
mhm,
It's also very enlightening when you realize that there are certain things that are going on that you once weren't aware of, but then now you can act on. It's really nice when you know that, oh, this is something that I didn't know about, but as part of my everyday life. But now that I know about it, I can keep it in mind and I can change how I approach it.
yep, definitely.
So I think that that's where like it hits me the most. Like maybe there are topics that I just no idea about at all,
Mhm.
but then there are those topics where I have some familiarity, but then John Oliver shines a light on it that I've never seen before, and that's where it like really wows me. So yeah.
I want to highlight some other different different channels here for the informational one. I'm gonna say it again. If you watched our Japan video, I said it as well, and I think I said it as well in previous channels as well. Simon and Martina. They used to be called Eat Your Kimchi. Um, they live in Japan now. They do a lot of Japanese cultural videos, a lot of food videos, the places where you can check out, places where if you do travel there, you can take a look at. But also some informational videos, like they did a video on the yukata, right? That's what it's called.
Yeah.
The formal dress wear. They did a video on like the way something is prepared. They sat down with a sushi Michelin star
Chef.
sushi chef. And they got to interview him a little bit, and they did a very production based one, and just see how he prepares the food. Um, so if you're interested in Japanese culture, check out their videos. They do it in a very entertaining way,
Hmm.
very cute way, because they are a couple, they're married, and they do it very cute like so. But at the same time, they provide some entertaining cultural way of seeing Japan.
Hmm.
Um, they used to do a lot of Korean videos because they used to live in Korea. So if you were interested in some Korean topics as well, check out their older videos. Um, but I really enjoyed it.
Hmm.
Another one, smaller one, but it blew up, I think, on Reddit at one point. Um, I want to say I'm a hipster because I watched him before that. But you know what? It's called Primitive Technology. It's not even that informational, but this guy, he he does videos of him out in the wilderness. There's no talking, no anything. It's just him, and he creates and he like lives out there. It almost looks like he lives out there, but he creates different like how to make a campfire or a fire, and he builds things out of clay that he molds out of the ground, and he purely uses the outdoors and
And
creates
and
things
and the
like,
camera and the internet
yep.
to up.
Well, yeah, but then it's very basic. You'll see it's super basic. He literally like lays his camera there and
There's
looks at it.
nothing more basic than the pumpkin spice latte, dude. I'm telling you, that shit's back at Starbucks. I'm at work and bitches are ordering. I'm like, fuck. Like it's pretty good, but like there's
All
nothing
right,
more
all right.
basic than pumpkin spice
Maybe
latte.
it's not
Even
basic.
if you're in a fucking world and it's like making, I don't know, swords and shields and shit out of clay. Nah,
No. Yeah, yeah. It's really simple. He made like a hut, like a clay hut, and
pumpkin spice lattes,
that
everyone.
actually fit.
All the fucking PSLs, man. Anyway, I'm just trolling. I'm just trolling.
But something really, it's like really calming. Primitive
Hmm.
Technology. If you guys want to check it out, called Primitive Technology. If you're interested, just calming kind of videos.
Hmm.
One other one I really want to talk about is The Apartment with Asif and Baluch.
Who?
Exactly. Called The Apartment with Asif and Baluch. So Asif and Baluch, they are, I think Asif or something. They play. He plays some person on some famous TV show. I don't know. I don't remember
Oh yeah,
exactly.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I know what you're talking about.
The apartment with
Yeah,
After
that guy.
Blush?
No, no, I was
Okay.
making fun of your description
But
of a guy, a
Jesus
famous guy from a
Christ.
famous TV show. Holy shit, Dan.
Oh man, I am so sorry. Its name I think is Ali Baluch or something. Um, they're actors as well as producers. Um, literally, it's just they sit down in an apartment, very good sound quality,
Hmm.
um, and they interview kind of either famous YouTubers or famous, not too famous, but some famous like actors and actresses. Um, I know they did an interview with David. No, no, they did an interview with Timothy De La Ghetto. This is like a one-on-one, deep get to your backstory, how you started, and they don't ask basic questions. Basic questions, like, "Hey, how did you get started on YouTube?" Kind of like that. No, they ask pretty deep questions, very interesting, very good sound quality. It's like a podcast. Take a look at them. They do some with some pretty famous YouTubers,
Hmm.
like Phil from Wong Fu. They did one like with them. Um, I don't know. I think it's super interesting. I recommend it to most people. Um, they did one with Dante Bosco as well. One
Hmm.
on one, well, 2-on-1 interview. If you guys heard of Alex Wasabi, they did an interview with him as well. These are like famous YouTubers or actors or actresses as well. And
Hmm.
take a look. I think it's
You've got a lot of
pretty good.
recommendations.
Yes, yes. I love these guys as well. So, all right. Any last things about informational?
Uh, I'm actually like out of YouTubers, honestly.
Oh shit.
I already talked about like all of the ones I really watch.
All
So
right. Well, I want to go into a little bit of the. I mean, you watch skit videos, right? Um, like Wong Fu.
I don't watch them anymore.
Okay. Well, you did
I
watch them at one point,
I
right?
used to, but now I don't know. I just fallen out of touch, I guess, or maybe it's something I used to like, but
Not as
yeah,
much
I don't.
anymore.
Yeah, and
Well,
I don't think they're still. I'm sure their work is still really good. I watched them when they were like,
a
not
lot
as good as they
older.
are now, and they didn't have the resources that they do now. But
Hmm.
yeah, just yeah.
Well, I'll skip through a little bit of this because we kind of talked through kind of YouTubers in general, but I'm gonna go through kind of the highlights of skits you
Hmm.
guys want to take a look at for the viewers' sake. Wong Fu, um, something like obviously you have the big names like Niga Higa,
Hmm.
College Humor. One thing comic based actually. He basically draws comics, puts them on YouTube, animates them,
Hmm.
and then he it's like a story of his life.
I think he animates them before he puts them on YouTube. Don't you think? I don't. I don't think he's gonna animate it after he puts it on YouTube. I'm
Right.
just saying.
All right, all right, all right, all right. His name's Domix. I don't know if you've heard of him as well.
Nope.
All right, well, viewers as well, Johnny as well. Just kind of talks about random stories in his life in
Hmm.
an entertaining comic strip way. So, um, that's pretty much all the skit things as well. You watch anything related to food?
Nope.
Okay. Well, I'll highlight
I
some quick
usually
things as well.
use like I usually use YouTube to like learn more about the politics happening in the world and then like
Mm,
watch random game videos because although I'm just like super busy these days, so I
yeah.
don't like yeah.
No worries. These are kind of like highlights that I don't really watch too much, but every so often they have like some really interesting videos that pop up
Yeah.
really popular. So,
Uh-huh.
um, I learned a lot, some of my cooking from this big channel called Food Wishes.
Ooh.
They do a lot of uh, very diverse, very different foods.
Mm-hmm.
So if you guys are curious or interested in learning just cooking in general, I think Food Wishes is pretty cool. And then one big one that started popping off really somewhat recently actually is binging with Babish.
Nope, I've
Okay.
never heard of any of these. It's like every time you name a channel, it's like you're expecting a reaction from me, but I'm like, I got nothing for you, dude.
I'm
I
sorry. All right. Well, for you, binging with Babish is this channel where he creates famous cartoon, TV show, or movie food.
mm-hmm.
Something big is like the Szechuan sauce from um, Rick and Morty. He like did a bunch of experimentation, and he created different sauces that might match this. And then he
Mm-hmm.
did the a sandwich from Adventure Time, and he like tries to recreate these foods from these
Mm-hmm.
shows and TV shows, movies. So it's entertaining if you like food, or if you
Mm-hmm.
enjoy food, or if you were ever curious about food from TV
Yeah.
shows. I think one big famous one was his Friends video.
Mm-hmm.
So in Friends, um, if you guys watch Friends, there was this sandwich called the turkey sandwich with a moist maker in the middle. I don't know if you watch Friends at all, but
Yeah.
he
No, I did.
he created that,
Uh-huh.
and it's just some super interesting things that he does. So take a look at him. He blew up really recently, actually.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so um, those are
That's
the
pretty
kind
cool.
of highlight videos quickly for you guys if you guys haven't seen it. Question for you though, then. Why do you enjoy certain aspects of YouTube videos? I know we discussed it briefly. Let's highlight it again. What do you enjoy about certain YouTube videos? Why do you think they're successful?
That's a that's a really interesting question. Because why do I enjoy certain aspects of YouTube videos? Man, I really don't like that question because it's I guess you're asking me to highlight specific things about
I
what I like it and
guess
why I like it.
why do you enjoy watching videos on YouTube? What do you go to those YouTube videos and those personalities specifically for?
Well, I mentioned earlier that I don't spend a lot of time on YouTube other
Mhm,
than watching game related videos and to get news on politics and what's happening in the world and stuff.
mhm,
And it's just because there's a lot of content on YouTube that I don't know. I I really try my best to find things that I feel are more or less genuine, and I don't. There are a lot of YouTubers that I don't really that I stray away from because I feel like are too mainstream or uh they're it just feels very scripted. It feels very
scripted,
fake,
produced.
and I'm also very skeptical. More, maybe a little more than I should be, but
Mhm.
um, yeah, I don't. I mean, I don't really have a good answer for you, Dan. If I agree with the
No.
way the YouTuber sees the world or the way they describe things, or if there's with the game related stuff, if there's someone that I feel that deserves my support, then I'll watch them,
Mhm,
especially if I find entertainment from them. Like I think a really good example of someone who I support that I don't watch that much is Meteos from Cloud9.
mhm.
I really like him as a person and I want to support him, but he doesn't put up enough content for me to watch, and also um I think that he could more he could be more consistent with like the way he views the world and also the way how he puts his content out. So he's someone that I don't necessarily stay away from, but I don't go out of my way to seek. Whereas someone like I'm a cutie pie, like I'll check if he has a new subscription or like new video out, or if Philip DeFranco has a new video out. If there's someone that I feel I can connect with in some way in like how they see the world, like I said before, that's probably why I'd watch them. I'm not sure if
Perfect.
that answers the question, but
No, that's definitely it. How you agree with the way they handle things or the way they view the world. So they have similar views as you. They're genuine. So they create, at least they put out their personality in a genuine way where they don't
yeah.
fake anything, they don't act like someone else. They're themselves in their videos no matter what.
To
To an
whatever.
extent. To the entertainment extent.
Well, no, that's what I was gonna say was it's at least to my interpretation of what genuine what genuine means to that individual. Maybe all the people that I don't watch on YouTube or that I stay away from, or like I just don't follow, are considered genuine. Other people, like I know that Casey Neistat's like a huge name that a ton of people watch because they say that he's always pushing himself and that he's really creative person and that he's as genuine as it gets. But
Mm-hmm.
um, I just don't find as much entertainment or value from watching his videos. So that's me.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe that's just the way I see them and I interpret it. So I don't want to say that the people that I watch are the most genuine, but
The
the
way
way I
you view.
interpret it with the amount of entertainment that I get from watching those videos, I think they're well produced and I enjoy them.
Okay. Well produced, genuine, to your extent, to your knowledge, to your view, and then agrees with your view, well, of the world. I mean, that pretty
Sure.
much
Yeah.
sums. I
That's
mean,
about it. Yeah.
somewhat of it. Somewhat.
Yeah. That's about it.
I'd agree. Um, I watch. I think I watch random videos for like informational food videos more so. Well, food videos because I just enjoy food, so I like to see food.
Yeah.
Informational videos, like politics or anything to keep up with topics in general in the world.
Hmm.
Just having something interesting to kind of pull out as well. Then obviously gaming videos and videos around that entertainment wise, something that can make me laugh
Yeah.
or something that I'm super passionate about or interested in. Um, and then I think nostalgia sake too. Someone that I've been following for a long time on YouTube. I continue to follow and I keep watching their videos no matter what.
Hmm.
So something that way as well. And then just music. I like covers. I enjoy good artists and singers and talent. So
Hmm.
as long as you're very good at your art and you're passionate about it, I enjoy pretty much watching you.
I respect that.
Um, but other than that, hopefully we can grow our YouTube channel.
Yeah, we didn't get to talk too much about that, but
No, but I think that should wrap up today. Hopefully, our viewers got a couple of highlight YouTube channels that they may want to take a look at, check
yeah,
out.
as we seek to grow our channel, we send people to check out other people who
Of
are probably way
course.
better and more talented than we are, but
Oh
that's
yeah,
cool too
definitely.
because they deserve to be highlighted, right?
Hmm. And we're
So,
doing this for fun, so genuine. We're being genuine. We love YouTube as much as you guys should love us. um, any final words, Johnny?
nope. As always, if you like this episode or if you loved it, then you should subscribe. We're doing our best to figure out what we want to do. I know I say that like almost every week, but that is still because we don't really know where what we want to focus on, what our formula is going to be
Mhm.
in terms of how we're going to do our podcast. So if you guys have any feedback or any advice for what we could do moving forward, then please let us know. We are still making changes in production quality, which includes hopefully getting a new logo in the next couple of months. The formatting of the future videos will look different. Hopefully, our faces will be bigger. And then graphics in general will change. But
Mhm.
with that being said, thanks again for watching. And yeah, we'll
We'll
see you
see
guys
you
next
next
time.
time.
Well, you'll see us next time. We won't really see you because I don't know who's watching.
All right, we're gonna cut it at that. See you
I
guys
never
later.
understood why people said we'll see you because we're not gonna see them. They're gonna see us. I don't know, man. Fucking YouTubers, man.
All right,
You'll
well,
see us next week, hopefully.
you'll see us next week. There we go.
I guess.
You guys.